Hey, welcome everybody to the King Mexico podcast. And I finally got a I got a fighter. I've been, reaching out to a lot of people and I'm happy. Thank you to NY Brewer for, helping me out big time. Let them know who you are.
Hey y'all, my name is Gabriella Gulfin. My fighter name is G-Daddy, so I'm Gabby G-Daddy Gulfin and Manny's friend.
Dope. And with that said, how did this whole training start? How did you ended up, wanting this career towards, professional fighting?
Since I was 6, I could not stay still. I always had to be jumping off something or flying off something. And my mom tried to stick me with piano lessons when I was 6. That worked out great. Kept on running away to the Taekwondo school. After 5 years of nagging my family, they stuck me in Taekwondo. I got to a point where I needed more intensity, and then it transitioned to MMA. So here we are.
Oh, nice. So it's crazy, right? Because a lot of people who do start training, right, as a kid, either it's two things we get introduced as kids, either karate or taekwondo, because of the big ones out there, and it's insane you said that because I was introduced as well to karate as a young kid and boxing, and then further on kung fu because they opened up a kung fu school in Bushwick. Yeah, so I ended up going there and then they closed down. But yeah, just going along the lines, how fun is it? Just let people know how fun is it when you're rolling around. Because I try to tell people from my experience, like when you do BJJ and you roll with people, it's just so much fun when you on the mat and you're rolling with somebody. And sometimes you get pinned or you get tapped by somebody who you will never expect. And all you do is like, yo, you give him that big hug and you give him that dab. You're like, yo, bro, you did it.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's nothing like trying to kill each other and then being cool when hugging it out. When you were just releasing oxytocin the whole time, because maybe everybody's not a hugger, but everybody needs to feel the energy of a hug. And I love jujitsu especially because it's physical chess. The placement, the timing, the execution, you working um, your own personal mechanics, and your jujitsu essentially becomes you. Many people will agree when they've been doing it for a while. Their jujitsu models their personality. It does. Mine, for example, was very slow and methodical, but it can be very explosive and aggressive. Very much a compliment to my own personality. It's fun. It never gets boring. A big part of that is your perspective on it. I believe if you get too serious with training, that's when it gets stagnant. That's when you start getting hard on yourself. You're not getting better, and you don't enjoy. You start dreading training. And when you make it fun and you play different scenarios, let's say you like I'm naturally a top player. When I play guard intentionally, it's like, oh man, I'm not great at this. And it's kind of fun getting my ass beaten because I'm playing in an element that I'm not comfortable with, and I like that challenge. So yeah.
Nah. And how long you been training for now?
Um so I made the transition to training MMA at the end of 2013. Was doing taekwondo for 10 years prior to that, and in the mixture of that I've done boxing since 2016. I won golden gloves also,
Nice.
and jiu-jitsu came in with MMA.
Nice. So you just going touching on golden gloves. How's that?
Mhm. Fun. Fun, a lot of work. A lot of work.
Are you training like you have full week or you do days off?
Mm, at most, it's one day off. I like to make my training fun and bring variety to it. I'm someone that needs consistent stimulation and can't stay in one gym because I like to learn. I like to be challenged. I like to be surprised and meet new challenges. So I go looking for different styles, different reactions. So I travel to gyms in Connecticut, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania also.
Oh, touching on that, right? I noticed on your page that you do functional pattern training.
I do.
And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Cause one of my close friends, he put me onto it with I always get his first name messed up, Aguilar.
Oh, Naudi Aguilar, yeah, founder.
Yeah. Yes. So he put me on and he went out there and he got his certification in Jersey. So
Really, what's his name?
uh uh Vince,
Vince.
Vince Reynolds.
Okay, he might be the other because I know there are two functional pattern places in New Jersey. I've seen there's another one, but the one I go to, the guy's name is Alexander Lambert.
Oh no, the my friend is in Brooklyn. He went
Oh,
he went to get certified in Jersey and then he's in Brooklyn. So I was like, oh, and then he's been telling me all these things and how it works and how our body is meant to function a certain way and stuff. And sometimes the exercises that we are shown and we are trained throughout our lives are somewhat wrong. And
yes.
there's a special way. And I'm like, actually speaking somebody who trains, right? It's dope that I got to, meet you and I'm interviewing you right now. How does that help with the training?
Oh my God, it adds another dimension. You think about your body totally differently when it comes to where it is in space, how it reacts, in jujitsu, how you're distributing weight, the execution, where especially where your body is in place, how you're twisting, how you're engaging, firing core, functional patterns. They have a big emphasis on obliques, lats, and glutes, and really maxing them out because they control stability so much. They're really into the transverse plane of motion. So a lot of twisting with them, a lot of twisting, a lot of the idea of wringing the core out like it's a towel.
Mm-hmm.
And that twist with the C curves and everything. It's another way of thinking, and when you implement it into fighting, it makes fighting even more fun. I don't know how else to say that.
Yeah, I have to try it out because he's told me, he's like, yo, come through. And I always look at the videos, right? When they're showing demonstrations, it always seems like there has to have a lot of space, right? But he's like, nah. He's like, you could work with a small space. You just got to fit into the environment. And then just whatever you learn, you put it into perspective. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. Cause I'm like, I see him throwing sometimes the kettle or throwing like like the ball and stuff. And I'm like, bro, you need space for that. He's like, no, no, no. He's like, don't get it fooled. He's like, if you have the space, it's amazing. However, if you have small space, you could do this. And he was showing me. I was like, oh, okay. I see what you mean. But I'm pretty sure it's one of those things that I will have to take on to get the full effect. It's not like a 1 day thing.
Oh no. It's
Because I see the videos of people who have problems running, walking, and next thing you know they have a before and after, and then they show their spine how it's going from being curved to a little bit straight or that arch, and they have proper posture now. So from what I see, it's working.
yeah, it is. There is nothing like it.
And there's a couple of fighters I noticed that when they show on their posts, they're also training, which is incredible. And I'm pretty sure that's another one. Sorry to, got to get in. I've seen a lot of people now on YouTube, right? Because that's where I get my workouts, who are using functional patterns in their videos.
Yep.
They're using it, but they're not giving the credit where credit is due.
Yeah. There is that that is going on also. I've noticed that. I definitely believe in giving the credit. And I've been really trying to immerse myself in the culture too. Even beginning to get into the functional podcast, and when I can, and I catch it one of Naughty's live streams, and understanding what they're trying to get at. I mean, I was I was serious about yoga previously, and since you know functional patterns, you know their belief with especially physical asana. They're not into it, and for good reason. It is damaging to the body because prior to starting with functional patterns, I dealt with a lot of lower back pain. And I don't know what the right phrase for it is, but still technically a yoga teacher. But I'm transitioning out of that. It's evolution because I'm still definitely into the physical practice of the breathing, the pranayama, the meditation. But as far as the asana, the physical practice goes, I'm totally phased it out of my life. And I've noticed an immense difference in the way my body responds to trauma and to it just functions so much better.
Wow. Just coming from from you that you train and stuff, you would notice more difference than the average person. Like you speaking to people could get a better understanding because you immersed in that life. You get me? Like you breathe, eat, and train. A lot of people just just do it as a way to keep fit and whatever. But at the end of the day, when you take a toll on your body, all this training, it does take a toll on you. And if functional patterns works like you say it does, that means who knows how much longer. Like let's say instead of doing you train for 10 years, let's just say, right? Example. With functioning patterns, if it does really help with all that, that means you can extend your career much longer.
Exactly. They're into the whole thing of regeneration. And they talk about that. That is why it's functional patterns, because we all have a counterintuitive patterns to, or negative behaviors in our body where we spiral one way, we'll tilt one way, we'll lean a certain way, and it creates imbalances in our bodies. And when people are made more aware of that, it doesn't matter if they're a professional athlete or average Joe. Nowadays has said countless times that his goal is to make the average Joe like Michael Jordan.
Ooh.
And I think that's an amazing goal. I love that because it's the idea of also everybody has purpose. Everybody can do it. I like that sense of equality.
That right there is amazing. You can make an average Joe to Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
So just going back on your on your career and everything, how has it been? You know what I mean? How did you just go about like, all right, I'm gonna train and boom, I'm gonna start going into this?
Honestly, professional, it started great at the beginning. I was 2-0, had the same coach with me, and life happens. We had a falling out, and I had a very unstable phase where I've now suffered 3 losses. It's been hard readjusting myself with the pandemic, but I had to go through that failure to get to this point. If I had kept on winning, I wouldn't have gone through the growth I have in the past 2 years, especially. And I really seen with that there is a reason why they're called growing pains. Unless you're exposed to pain, you cannot grow. Unless you're exposed to loss, defeat, failure, you don't know if you have the strength to get up.
And is it hard to get into that? Or is there like, do you have to know somebody to get into the professional scene?
Not necessarily. through your amateur career, you wind up making the connections,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you do well, which I did in amateur. In amateur, I was 5-1, so it was good. I only lost my first, and the rest were basically submission finishes.
Ooh.
So it yeah, there was a lot of readjustment with my personal life too that went on that I had to adapt to also.
Mm-hmm.
As well, like your friend stated with functional patterns, even if you have a little bit of space, you adapt. They have this whole sense of adaptability. Especially, I learned so much from my practitioner that I work with, Alex. With everything, I see that he tries his best to be adaptable, and he's really into Naughty's verse where he goes, "Tune into the boring." Tuning into the boring is incredibly hard.
Wow. At this point, right? Where do you want to be at? Like, not just throwing it out there. Like, I know it's probably hard and stuff, but I always like it's dope talking to you because you're on your journey up, right?
Right.
Do, is there a league you want to get to, or it's just
You
like, oh, when it gets there, it gets there, whichever league picks you?
No, it's specifically the UFC. I want to fight the best in the world, and I'm going to keep on getting up. I'm going to keep on going. I definitely am into the thing of healing also. So I'm in massage therapy school right now also. And I am working on the 10-week online course with functional patterns, and I want to get certified with them as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Nothing like breaking it and fixing it when it comes to the body.
I totally agree. Is there anybody that you currently see, right, that you're like, yo, they on their A game?
Well, the really Amanda Nunes, she's on all the time. I think if someone who's online, that chick is always online.
Yo, I agree with you. The lioness don't play.
Mm-mm.
Yo, when I see her like go off on people, I'm like, damn. And then people sometimes be like, nah, they're gonna take her. I'm like, nah, she's different. She is
Yeah,
so different. Like her tap game, her hand game is all on point. And anytime somebody tries to step up, they can't do it. They can't do it. And it's incredible, you know what I mean? Because it reminds me of Khabib. Everybody's trying to break, trying to figure out the puzzle, and they
right.
can't. And they
No,
sure can't. And she can't find anybody right now to fight her.
I know. I believe she's supposed to fight Juliana Penne next, and it's in December. Uh, I don't see Nunes moving. And it's no offense, I'm just being honest.
No,
She's online, and I have immense respect because many people, it gets harder for them when they have children. It's only made her better when her and her wife had her daughter.
I
It's only made her better.
completely agree on that. And then anybody in the men's division?
Oh, I love Adesanya.
Style Bender?
Yep, I love Izzy. I love that swag. I like him. Let me think. I have a few. Who doesn't love Sugar Sean O'Malley?
You gotta give it up to him.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta give it up to him. The charisma.
I like Poirier too. The work ethic is insane.
You know who I feel like messed up for, and I know they got it in them, but they just been dealt incredible fighters on and on and on and on. The last three, Kevin Gastelum.
Oh, he's a tough
Yo,
dude. He's a tough dude.
yo, I feel like he's got it, but he's just been getting like straight up savages, and he's a savage himself.
Yeah.
Because when he fought Izzy, that fight with Izzy was
He's the only one to really fuck up Izzy's face in that division.
that was a close ass fight too. But at the end of the day, Izzy came out like a savage that last round.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, and this the thing is that's the shit that sucks about the UFC, right? Because I think he has 3 now losses, right?
Yeah.
And you already know what's gonna happen. Like we all know.
It's interesting though, because some people they're a little more flexible with, I've noticed, and he's not unpopular. Like, you gotta respect the guy for how much grit he's got. Other people, they will cut them because they don't have enough exposure. They'll be more tolerant with one that gets more credibility, more exposure, is more popular, has a better following. That's how they roll. And I can understand that from a business perspective.
Yeah, the prime example of that is not even McGregor, is Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
Nate Diaz has that following. Like he's lost, and we still gonna watch him because we know he goes in there and he handles his business and he hasn't been KO.
Mm-hmm.
That chin is true. What they say, Mexicans got a chin. He got a chin. He got an insane chin. Everybody's tried to knock him out and haven't been able to knock him out. And then I see McGregor coming for him as his comeback fight.
Uh,
I feel the same way. I feel the same way you do. And you know what's the thing? It is insane, right? Because I'm a huge Conor fan, like huge. Like when Conor first appeared on the scene, I was telling everybody I know, I was like, yo, this dude right here is a savage. Like, y'all need to watch out for him. And then once he got that first loss and then he came back, he hasn't been the same. And honestly, Nate beat him twice. Both of
he's
those.
a bit of Amanda. Amanda got better with kids. He seems to have gotten distracted with his kids and the money.
Yeah, and the hunger, and then he doesn't have the team. You know what I mean? His team, like, he's like, let's just change it up. I'm like, bro, like, and it sucks because he had so much potential. You know what I mean? It's there, like, it's there, but it just sucks to see such a great fighter go down that route. I think he should have just stepped down. I understand he loves to fight, but I think it would have been a best route just to leave it alone and go fight with what's that dude? Jake Paul.
Oh, not in the featherweight division, right? No, not featherweight. Featherweight's too lightweight. Lightweight. I think lightweight's more his weight. Are you talking about the lightweight division?
Oh no, I'm just talking about he should have done the money grab with Jake Paul, the
Oh,
the
okay.
YouTuber.
I thought we were talking about UFC fighters and which guy he should have fought stylistically.
Oh no, I'm talking about he should have just grabbed the bag. He should have just went for Jake Paul, called it a day, and that's it. Run with that bag.
As much as McGregor runs his mouth, the guy actually loves to fight. So that when it comes to that, that doesn't make sense for him.
And then in the featherweight, who would he fight?
Well, that's the thing. He really hasn't fought featherweight forever because he looked emaciated at featherweight. I would say weight is more lightweight.
And then Aldo's come back. He's come back a beast.
Yeah. Yeah, he was MIA for a bit, and then he came back swinging. It's like, well, shit, and his boxing improved immensely.
It's so insane, and there's so many fights that have happened and are gonna happen that I'm like, damn. Like another fighter who should have had been more on ground and should have submitted people was my man the Cuban dude.
Oh, Romero.
Romel.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, use that. That's what I don't understand with a lot of UFC fighters, right? Who have like wrestling under their belt. They refuse to go underground and they just want to go hand to hand.
I think it's a thing of proving that you're not a one-trick pony. I can understand that because I can say that for second loss I had as pro, I should have taken that girl to the ground and I didn't because I wanted to prove something. And I went in irrational. It didn't pay off. It was a big mistake.
Nice. Hey, at least I got, how he thinks, you know what I mean? Since, because sometimes as a fan, you're always looking at it like, oh, you could do this, you could do that. But I'm like, yo, it's not the same thing as being in the cage. It's two completely things. The person in the cage and the person outside, it's two different people. I was like, yeah, you could say all this and all that. It's like, yeah, you try to do that while you're in the cage.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's different. And sometimes it's relaxing. I can honestly say that. And other times you're shitting bricks.
Yeah, and then also people need to understand that everybody has cardio. Like you don't understand. After a minute in real life, a fight will go about 30 seconds to a minute in real life.
Yes.
After that, both of them are gassed and they both taking huge breaths and everything. So imagine now trying to do that 5 minutes, 5 rounds, or 3 minutes. Oh, no, 5 minutes, 3 rounds. It's still hard. Even when you shadow boxing, you do 3-minute rounds or 60-minute rounds. You get winded.
Well, here's the thing too. How composed are you?
That
The
is
more
true.
composed you are, the less you're going to gas, in all honesty. Composure is key because you notice what happens, like you said, in street fights, they're usually emotional. So, of course, they gas. One, they're not used to it. Two, they gas because it's like, I want to beat this guy. I'm going to hit him. I'm going to whatever. But you're not thinking, you're like, okay, this one's charging at me. Good. I'm going to time it. I'm just going to pop him. That's it. It's in a way, you see that makes sense why people like Izzy, Shimchenko, Rose, they have that cardio. You see how they fight, they're composed. Composed people are going to gas a lot. They're not going to gas as easily as someone who's emotional and aggressive, overly aggressive. I shouldn't say aggressive because aggression is good.
You have a fight coming September 12th, right?
September 17th.
Oh, it's 17th. I thought it was the 12th. Sorry. So
Yeah,
17th.
they're telling me 5 days. It's like, no, I have everything planned.
How's that been? How's that training been?
It's been good. I'm ready. As far as I'm concerned, I'm good to go. And it's just coming into the mindset that's really the key player. Because physically, the body's ready to go.
So that's it. You just ready to go in already, right?
Yeah. And it's not like, oh, I can't wait. I just want to get it over. So it's like, yeah, I just want to go in already. I already see the fight. I visualize it. Even if it's totally different from what I expect, I still, for my last fight, I remembered, man, I missed this thing. But I don't think many people have that. But yeah, I missed it. I did.
So before this one, when was the last time you got in the ring?
July 16th.
Oh,
Yeah, it was I lost split decision. And it was for Bellator.
oh, talking about split decisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one area I think when it comes down to judges, right? A lot of judges that judge these MMA fights shouldn't be in it, especially Vegas. Vegas is notorious. I'm like, you try to bring the same point system to MMA that you do in boxing. And it's crazy because people don't understand when you go to the ground, sometimes it's harder
Yeah.
to be on the ground than to, you know, the way they score. I think should be somebody who trains. You get me? If you train, if you was a professional fighter prior and you've done both, or you train on the ground and you train on your feet, then that should qualify you as a judge, not somebody who's, just been sitting down and watching the sport their whole life on
Right.
TV and thinking they know what they're saying, which they don't.
No. It's a tough call.
Yeah.
You Yeah, I feel that frustration with the judges. Trust me. I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, because there's a lot of fights. I'm pretty sure you've seen fights. We all seen fights. We're like, what fight was this judge watching? Like, how the hell did you judge the win? And it
Well, it's
was
also a game of
one-sided.
favoritism. It's also the thing of favoritism, the betting, all that comes into play also.
Just going back, Kevin won that fight, the last one. He had more punches.
I didn't see that one, so I can't be, yeah.
Yes, he had more punches and he was much more aggressive, but it didn't go to him.
Yeah.
And there's so many other fights too that have gone down like that, and we're all like, how? Um, even with Tyrone Woodley when he fought the YouTuber,
Oh,
that was one-sided as well.
yeah. I don't know. When money's involved, it's easy for things to become crooked.
And it's always, especially boxing, you know, we all know how boxing's always been. It's always had that shadow, and it's always gonna have it. Unlike MMA, there's only one way. Most of the times, if you win with a tap or a knockout, you're winning. It's only when it comes down to decision, it's like, ah, man, here we go.
It is trippy, yeah. It is.
So all this, is there any particular like food you eat, anything you drink to keep you hydrated or keep you tip top?
I'm obsessed with coconut water lately. I don't know why, but it's been the thing that has made me so happy for the past few days. It's just like as long as I have coconut water, it doesn't matter what stress is going on. I don't care what stress or whatever. Coconut water, it's okay.
Any CBD drinks, any of that?
No, not really into it. So
Oh, all right. So after you're done with training and your match is over, what's the first thing you're gonna go out and eat and drink?
a lot of soda. A lot of soda. I forgot its name. It's a search for B. It comes in a glass bottle, Boyan or something like that.
Uh-huh.
That cola, yeah. I can down like cases of that thing.
And how about the dish? What's your dish? What's that main dish you're about to go eat?
Mm, I don't know because I'm really I don't really splurge that much. I eat pretty healthy the whole time. It's just very natural for me. So anything with
Oh,
mushrooms, I'm happy with.
wow. I thought you would be like more like street Jesus. You go eat pizza after you were done training and stuff. Two
Yeah,
slices of pizza together and call it a date and
I'm
some
a
soda.
full native New Yorker because I'm not really a pizza person.
Nah.
No,
What?
fried foods and sugar though, that's an issue.
French fries then?
Yeah, I do love French fries. I do love French fries, and you give me anything that's chocolate and vegan, oh, it's gone. It's gone.
So anybody listening, right? And they would like to pursue a career in pro fighting, what would be your advice?
Have fun with it. Don't be afraid of being yourself. And the more you realize that you're playing physical chess and that it's not a life and death situation, the smoother it's going to go. It can be a life or death situation, but from personal experience, the more fun you have, the less serious you take yourself, the more fun you're going to have. It gets a little too anal if you're really serious.
And with that said, anything you can let everybody know where they could reach you, where they could watch you, since you got your upcoming fight, where they could catch it on.
Oh yeah. So Instagram is Gabbeegdaddy, Gabbeegdaddy. And this fight is going to be on UFC Fight Pass. Through the federation's name is CES, and it will be from Hartford, Connecticut. So if anyone wants to hit me up for tickets, I have them also.
Nice. All right. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Nah, thank you. Thank you. Oh, don't forget everybody, life's a joke.